hope you're looking after yourself. So this video is for anyone who thinks they might have PMDD but are still a little bit confused about if they have it, if their symptoms are severe enough, or even people who kind of have experienced PMDD but then get a bit confused if their symptoms kind of go away and come back, because I know it can be a very confusing thing to experience. So I'm going to walk you through a self-screen, and a quick disclaimer, this is not medical advice, this is no substitution for a medical diagnosis, but it is a handy tool at your disposal. And of course, it's from the International Association for Premenstrual Disorders. I think this is a really good self-screen test. So let's start. It has 16 questions and it says, could you possibly have PMDD or PME? So that's premenstrual exacerbation. I always struggle saying that word. So it says, the following quiz is based on a self-screening quiz available through the University of Pennsylvania Health System Premenstrual Syndrome Program. It will help determine if you may be living with PMDD or PME, so that's premenstrual exacerbation, or an underlying disorder. So let's just skip to the questions because I'll leave the link in the description if you want to try it out yourself. So, I feel much more depressed, down, tearful, sad, or hopeless before the start of my period. And I'm going to click yes on all of these just to see what happens. I feel anxious, tense, nervous, keyed up or on edge before the start of my period. I feel hypersensitive to rejection, or my emotions feel very unstable and unpredictable before the start of my period. Now, sensitivity to rejection fascinates me. I know I've done a video about this and I will in the future, as I keep saying, but I think it is a fascinating symptom. Horrible, but fascinating in the sense that you are so hypervigilant to rejection during this time, it hurts. And whether that comes from trauma or attachment styles, I believe more research needs to go into this. And I just find it fascinating that, you know, whatever's happening inside your body and your brain can make you react like this every month. But then when your period comes, you start bleeding, it stops and you don't feel sensitive to rejection anymore and you feel a bit more resilient. I'm going to put resilient in quotation marks because I know that word can be quite triggering in the PMDD community, because yeah, it's not about being resilient, because PMDD takes over and really does change the way that you behave and think and feel. So I feel hypersensitive to rejection, or my emotions feel very unstable and unpredictable before the start of my period, and I'm clicking yes on all of these. I feel much more irritable, or I get angry easily before the start of my period. So yeah, the anger, the rage, that is real with PMDD. I have thoughts about suicide or hurting myself before the start of my period. Again, this is a very risky thing to experience PMDD, because some people, and I know YouTube doesn't like the S word, even though I just said it, but I'm going to say unalive. And also, I don't like saying unalive because I think we should just say what it is, but I don't know really how the YouTube like algorithm works or whatever, so I'm just going to be on the safe side and say unalive. But yeah, so there is a risk factor with PMDD, which we need to take absolutely seriously, because yeah, those intrusive, those thoughts about harm and hurting and unaliving can creep in. And yeah, it is something we need to take super seriously. I experienced feelings of hopelessness before the start of my period. Oh, hopelessness. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? I'm much less interested than usual in my hobbies and daily activities before the start of my period. Yeah, when you feel like not going out, not socializing, not going to, I don't know, tennis, yoga, football, whatever sport or hobby that you love outside of PMDD territory, when you're kind of losing interest in that, you might be aware that you are falling into PMDD territory. So that is often a sign. I find it much harder to concentrate before the start of my period. Oh, yeah, especially if the brain fog descends. Brain fog is annoying. It really is. I know I've experienced brain fog many times, and it just makes you feel so dopey. Like you're like, yeah, in a world of your own. How would you describe brain fog if you've experienced that? I feel much more tired and low in energy before the start of my period. Fatigue is real. Um, that like fatigue that just really zaps you of any kind of energy to, you can't even like get up and go to the fridge or, you know, any kind of daily activity that you usually would be okay doing in a heartbeat. Yeah, PMDD can really zap you of your energy. I tend to crave carbohydrates, feel hungry all the time, or eat more than usual before the start of my period. Oh, yeah, the hunger, the craving for sweet or salty. Let me know if you've had any like weird cravings with PMDD. I know I have specifically craved hot chocolate. Miso soup was another one. Um, yeah, so they're like either really, really sweet or really, really salty. I find myself tired, oversleeping, or taking naps, or I'm not sleeping well at night before the start of my period. I am bothered by breast tenderness or swelling, increased headaches, joint or muscle pain, bloating or water retention, and or weight gain before the start of my period. These symptoms interfere or cause problems in my day-to-day activities and or relationships. Most of my symptoms disappear by the end of my period. So that's how we define PMDD. The symptoms go as soon as you or just after you start your period. So you may find that if you are experiencing symptoms throughout your whole cycle, you may have an underlying condition. You may, be experiencing depression and anxiety that's exacerbated with PMDD. So yeah, they like to rule that out when they diagnose you as well, just to make sure. Um, yeah, so I have many of these symptoms the whole month, but they get worse before my period. So that question explains what I just said. So I've clicked yes to all of these just to as an example. Oh yeah, so because I clicked on yes for the you have it during the whole month, it's taken me to you may have PME, premenstrual exacerbation, or an underlying disorder. But if I click no to that, then it says, yeah, you may have PMDD. So it's really important to understand if you are feeling this way for the whole month or most of the month, or if you're not and it's just coming out during the luteal phase, it's really important to understand which one you might have, because yeah, you can go down different treatment pathways if you decide to go down, the like medication route and all of that. So anyway, thank you IAPMD for this self-screening. I'm sure many people have found it super useful. I hope that you find it super useful if you're using it. And yeah, completely appreciate IAPMD for continuing the conversation. So yeah, I hope that you're looking after yourself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Let me know what kind of content you would like me to make. And I'll see you in the next video.